Recent investigations have documented electromagnetic readings at various points throughout the site, similar to patterns found at other mysterious locations along the 25th parallel. These findings suggest there's far more to Coral Castle than meets the eye, and researchers are just beginning to process what their instruments are telling them. The 2024 discovery that changed everything. Dr. Sarah Martinez remembers the exact moment her team first processed the radar data from beneath Coral Castle's foundation. The computer screen displayed readings that made no sense according to conventional geology. Instead of random rock formations and soil layers, the ground-penetrating radar revealed density variations and structural anomalies extending down into the limestone bedrock. These readings suggested the presence of chambers and voids that didn't match typical geological formations found in South Florida. The most significant discovery came when researchers compared these underground readings with architectural maps of Leedskalnin's above-ground construction. The famous 9-ton gate, discovered in 1986 to have an ingenious bearing pivot mechanism hidden beneath the stone, represented just one example of Leedskalnin's sophisticated engineering. Orville Irwin's detailed account in his book explains how Ed used tripod and pulley systems far more advanced than most observers realize. The precision required to balance that massive gate on a truck bearing salvage from an old Ford suggests mechanical knowledge that went well beyond simple hand tools. Martinez and her team used advanced magnetometer technology that can detect electromagnetic anomalies at depths and with sensitivity impossible just 5 years ago. The new sensors revealed magnetic field variations radiating from areas beneath the castle that pulse in regular intervals. These electromagnetic signatures register strongest near the foundation stones and create patterns that suggest the presence of metallic objects or structures below ground level. The readings indicate materials that conduct and interact with natural earth currents in ways that create measurable electromagnetic effects. The underground formations suggest Coral Castle functions as something far more complex than a folk art curiosity. The magnetic patterns create what appears to be a system using the natural conductivity of limestone and coral to channel electromagnetic fields. Each area of unusual readings connects to others through what could be pathways or chambers that would allow electromagnetic current to flow beneath portions of the property. The system shows evidence of careful engineering designed to work with electromagnetic fields in ways that could theoretically affect the properties of objects placed at specific surface locations. Finding these electromagnetic structures beneath the castle's foundation changes everything researchers thought they knew about Edward Leedskalnin's construction methods. The implications suggest he didn't simply move heavy stones using conventional techniques unknown to modern observers. Instead, he appears to have understood principles about electromagnetic field manipulation and mechanical advantage that allowed him to position coral blocks weighing multiple tons with mathematical precision. The gate's bearing mechanism revealed in 1986 demonstrates this level of sophisticated engineering was definitely within his capabilities. Similar electromagnetic anomalies have now been detected at other ancient megalithic sites worldwide using comparable sensor technology. Stonehenge showed underground magnetic variations discovered in recent surveys, though arranged in different patterns than those found at Coral Castle. The Great Pyramid Complex revealed electromagnetic chambers beneath its foundation that create magnetic field variations remarkably similar to those found in Florida. Ancient sites in Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island all show evidence of subsurface structures that suggest sophisticated understanding of electromagnetic principles. Conventional archaeology missed these patterns for nearly a century because the technology to detect deep electromagnetic anomalies simply didn't exist until recently. Standard ground-penetrating radar can identify density changes in soil and rock but lacks the sensitivity to measure electromagnetic field variations at depth. Earlier magnetometer technology could detect surface magnetic anomalies but couldn't penetrate deep enough or with sufficient precision to map the complex patterns now visible with quantum sensors. The electromagnetic signatures were always there, but humanity lacked the tools to see them. Dr. Robert Chen, a physicist specializing in electromagnetic field theory, initially dismissed the Coral Castle readings as equipment malfunction. After 3 separate teams confirmed identical results using different sensor arrays, Chen admitted the findings challenged fundamental assumptions about 1930s construction capabilities. The electromagnetic patterns show characteristics that would require advanced understanding of field manipulation and mechanical engineering that supposedly didn't exist in mainstream construction during Leedskalnin's era. Chen's team spent months trying to explain the readings using conventional physics before acknowledging they represent engineering beyond typical expectations for the period. The discovery connects to broader theories about construction techniques that mainstream archaeology has long overlooked. The electromagnetic patterns at Coral Castle match theoretical models proposed by researchers studying mechanical advantage in electromagnetic effects in stone construction. These theories suggest builders possessed knowledge about using earth energies and electromagnetic fields in conjunction with sophisticated mechanical systems to move massive stone blocks during construction. The Coral Castle findings provide concrete evidence that such techniques may have been preserved and used in modern times. Archaeological teams worldwide are now re-examining sites previously dismissed as impossible achievements for their respective time periods. The electromagnetic patterns found beneath Coral Castle serve as a template for detecting similar technologies at other locations. Researchers have identified potential electromagnetic anomalies at sites in Egypt, Cambodia, and Central America that show preliminary readings consistent with sophisticated engineering systems. The technology used to build Coral Castle may represent one surviving example of construction knowledge that was once more widespread. The underground formations at Coral Castle demonstrate that Edward Leedskalnin possessed knowledge and capabilities that current mainstream understanding struggles to explain. The precision of the electromagnetic readings suggests access to information about field manipulation and mechanical engineering that goes far beyond what most individuals could have developed working alone during the 1930s. Recent excavation work has begun to uncover additional evidence that may finally reveal the true extent of Leedskalnin's engineering achievements. New evidence from Leedskalnin's hidden workshop. The most significant breakthrough came when researchers gained access to Leedskalnin's actual workshop area, which had remained largely untouched since his death in 1951. Unlike the sensational claims about hidden underground chambers, the real discoveries lay in plain sight within the toolshed that visitors had walked past for decades. Orville Irwin's detailed historical drawings, now housed in the castle's archives, reveal the sophisticated pulley and block and tackle systems that Leedskalnin actually used for his construction work. The workshop contained an assortment of devices that demonstrated remarkable ingenuity within the constraints of 1930s technology. Metal frameworks stood in corners with components that showed evidence of careful modification and repurposing. Leedskalnin had transformed automotive parts, railroad materials, and industrial salvage into specialized tools that maximize mechanical advantage. The famous flywheel, often the subject of wild speculation, showed clear signs of being part of a complex but entirely mechanical system of pulleys, levers, and other devices that allowed him to move massive stones using conventional physics applied with extreme creativity. Several metal components displayed wear patterns that told the story of decades of careful use. The steel parts showed evidence of repeated stress from heavy lifting operations, with bearing surfaces polished smooth from constant contact with ropes and cables. Copper wiring found throughout the workshop appeared to be part of a crystal radio system, supported by the presence of large nails hammered into walls where wire had been strung. This makes sense given that Leedskalnin needed to receive news from the war, and crystal radios required abnormally long wire antennas to function properly in rural areas. 3 leather-bound notebooks discovered among his possessions contained hand-drawn diagrams that modern engineers recognize as sophisticated mechanical systems. The sketches showed pulley arrangements, lever systems, and counterweight mechanisms integrated in ways that demonstrated advanced understanding of mechanical advantage principles. Some diagrams depicted machines with rotating elements and gear systems that appeared designed to amplify human strength through careful application of physics. The mathematical calculations accompanying the drawings used standard engineering notation but applied it to solve problems that most builders of his era never attempted. The engineering diagrams supported accounts of Leedskalnin working with remarkable efficiency despite his physical limitations. The notebook drawings showed how he calculated precise mechanical advantages needed to move multi-ton coral blocks using equipment he could operate alone. Some devices appeared designed to redirect forces through multiple pulley systems, while others seemed intended to use counterweights and leverage to position stones with mathematical precision. The level of technical sophistication evident in the diagrams demonstrated deep understanding of mechanical engineering principles that he applied with extraordinary creativity. The equipment showed wear patterns that indicated operation using careful planning and methodical execution over many years. Metal components displayed scoring and surface damage consistent with heavy-duty lifting operations that required precise control and timing. Some devices showed signs of continuous refinement, with modifications and improvements that suggested years of experimentation and optimization. The presence of multiple backup systems and redundant mechanisms indicated that Leedskalnin planned for equipment failures and developed contingencies for every aspect of his construction process. Leedskalnin's mastery of repurposing materials becomes evident when examining how he transformed ordinary industrial components into specialized construction tools. Heavy leaf springs from automobiles became fulcrums for massive levers. Railroad ties provided stable foundations for pulley systems. Truck parts were modified into bearing assemblies that could support enormous weights while allowing precise positioning. This resourceful approach to construction demonstrated both practical engineering skills and deep understanding of how to maximize the potential of available materials. The workshop revealed that Edward Leedskalnin possessed technical knowledge and problem-solving capabilities that far exceeded typical construction workers of his era. The mechanical systems required advanced understanding of physics, precision metalworking skills, and the ability to visualize complex three-dimensional problems involving massive weights and precise positioning. The sophistication of his solutions suggests either formal engineering training that historical records don't document or exceptional self-taught mechanical aptitude combined with years of careful experimentation. His published writings on magnetism and electricity, which have been adopted by various alternative energy movements, take on new significance when viewed alongside the physical evidence of his mechanical systems. While these writings remain difficult to interpret and aren't widely accepted by mainstream science, they demonstrate his interest in electromagnetic phenomena and suggest he may have incorporated magnetic principles into his mechanical designs. The combination of advanced mechanical engineering with theoretical interests in electromagnetic fields created a unique approach to construction that defied conventional limitations. The evidence from Leedskalnin's workshop supports the conclusion that he achieved his remarkable construction feats through exceptional application of mechanical engineering rather than mysterious technologies. However, the precision and sophistication of his methods raise questions about how he acquired such advanced knowledge and whether his techniques could be applied to solve other seemingly impossible construction challenges. The mechanical systems he developed represent a level of innovation that modern engineers are only beginning to fully appreciate and understand.